Hello there, welcome back. This is Production Line again. I am Cliff Harris, or Cliffski. I'm the designer and programmer of game about car factories. Ooh, big car factories. Yeah, I've got some design. I'm wearing a hat. I'm still wearing a hat because, you know, I bought a hat. Also, I can pretend I've still got some hair if I wear that hat. I'm going to talk about some design stuff. I will briefly go over a few things that are coming. Sports cars are coming. Not in the next patch because there's some design stuff I need to fix first. But they will be coming. And I'll start showing pictures. I fixed a bug that nobody ever reported, but I noticed it. That if you look at these cars here, they all look fine, don't they? Let me pick on one like that red one. Let me zoom in. Isn't that amazing? See, what's amazing is it looks exactly the same, nothing's changed, but actually that's like a cached sprite of it there. And that isn't. That's built up component by component for all sorts of complicated reasons, don't get me started. And it used to be that the colourings were off slightly, and you could tell, I could tell. Anyway, it's fixed. So that's fixed, some other stuff is fixed and balanced and everything. And we have more achievements coming. Whoa! It meant we needed to like redo this so we can support more achievements. There were 12, we've got another 12 coming. And they're going to have like these little progress bars on here to see them. The text isn't in there yet, so I can't tell you what they are, but I know they're just not all coded yet. I really like achievement. I'm thinking of linking some really cool stuff to achievements. And don't forget, they're not just on Steam. You don't have to be playing through Steam. I hook my achievements into Steam achievements, but they are handled within the game. So anyway, I've screwed up, sort of. It's quite hard to explain, but I'm going to have a go at it. There are design problems in the game, slightly. If you play the game a lot, you may have noticed some issues that make it difficult and that occasionally give rise to some bugs. Not bugs as in a crash or anything like that, but in terms of sometimes you get bottlenecks. If you look here, there's a big bottleneck, isn't there? Look, there's a bottleneck here, and I'm going to explain this bottleneck. And that's one of two big problems I have. The problem is, if I look at this car here, it's... Oh, hang on. See, it's about to go away. The problem is about to go away. A Positech Compact XM. Yeah. Now, you see, this has got an aluminium body. If I check on this, it needs 3 chunks of aluminium to build the body shell. That's a very expensive car. So that's fair enough. This one here doesn't. This is a steel car. This is a cheap one. It only needs 1 body shell, right? So what was that? That was a Positech Model S. Don't. I know. Means standard. Anyway, so if you look over here, it's kind of alternating, or occasionally it's doing the steel car, occasionally it's doing the aluminium shell car. So sometimes all it needs is 1 body shell. Sometimes what it needs is 3 aluminium. But the code in the game tries to be cleverer than that, even without predictive stock control, which I need to rename. Because what it does is if you need 1 body shell to fit on the car, it will order as many as it can fit to be efficient. Now, and that's fine, and that's really good, and it prevents bottlenecks, very efficient. The problem is, if you're chopping and changing like we do here with body shell, and like we often do with car door panels and stuff like that, depending on what car is being fitted, we get into a mess, because look, there's an aluminium thing there that we needed once. We might not ever need it again. I might discontinue that, and it's stuck there because it was kind of needed once. Now you might think, well, that's fine, just detect that. People say this in comments. If you're not a programmer, you write something like, can't you just have the AI detect when X? And it's like, it's not that simple. It sounds simple, but it's not. You know what I mean? If you do a lot of code, so can't we just detect that and get rid of it? The problem is that might be very sensible, If I'm going steel car, aluminium car, steel car, aluminium car, I do want to mix and match them there. If I'm doing 99 steel cars and then an aluminium car, I probably don't want those 98 times I'm fitting steel to be slightly inefficient because I'm taking up space with aluminium. I've only lost one slot to it at the moment, but I could have lost 15 out of 16 to it, depending how the numbers work. So this is a problem, and there's no real way to fix it. What a lot of people assume is, well, why can't you scan ahead and go, look, the next however many cars are going to... No, you cannot do that. The reason you can't do that is I could easily come along and I could do that, and I could have different cars coming along here. Okay, so this could be the aluminium cars, this could be the steel cars, for example. And I don't know which one will move next in order to... I don't know what point each of these entrances is going to give way to the next car. And you might think, well, obviously I'm in control of that, so I can do that. But no, I can't. Because if we have another slot here, and another slot here, and another slot here, and they're all being fed by different conveyor belts and all the rest of it, then we don't know the production rate here compared to the production rate there. And they might not be queued up. This all might be empty. And there may be another T-junction here. And the player may just come along now and then and do that. And it's just mayhem. It's absolute mayhem. So there is no way, that there's not even any, like, I don't think any mathematical way to be able to do that. It's just not possible to completely predict what's coming along, given the fact that we always take a car when we can. So for example, if we're waiting because the aluminium cars have got held up and the steel cars are here, and we had it all planned out when stuff would arrive in a kind of just-in-time way, that'd be quite inefficient, really. And that isn't the way that real car plants work anyway. But that would be inefficient because my steel car would be sat here thinking, well, look, you've got the stuff, I'm ready. Does it matter what order we go in? And it would be absolute mayhem if we did that. So we don't do that. So that's a problem, right, which I'm working on solutions for. One of which is to, for example, to automatically flush that at this point. Another of which is to say, well, look, 3 cars have gone through and we haven't used it, so flush it. There's lots of potential ways to fix this. One of which is to allow the player to configure what goes on here in the same way that you do here in the supply stockpile, where you decide what stuff to add. That's one problem. It's a big problem. Well, it's not a big problem. The game runs fine. But I had that bottleneck earlier. You saw it. There was a bottleneck, and that was because at one point I had loads of aluminium here. And that's just symptomatic of the whole thing. There is another problem. Let me show you the other problem. This isn't normal, is it? Normally, like, indie game developers are like, oh, my game's awesome. Check out my awesome game and how awesome it is and how I'm doing awesome stuff, and don't you want to play this? Whereas basically, I think this game is amazing and I love it, right? But I'm basically doing this video to go, look at all the things that are shit and wrong and you know, disaster. Anyway, let's not get bogged down with that. What are we researching? Because I might need to research something in order to prove this point to you. But here we have a similar problem, actually. Look, seats. I've got some normal seats and some Napa leather seats. Exciting. And, you know, at the moment we're fitting Napa leather, we might be fitting the other one. Look at all this space taken up by these seats that we don't need at the moment. That's slow. Look at this waiting for resources. Seats should never be waiting for resources unless you're fitting loads of upgrades. And look, we're not. We're not doing heated seats or powered seats. This delay is being caused because at one point we fitted Napa leather seats and we got ahead of ourselves and ordered lots. Now you could solve that by having, well, I have solved it actually here by doing this, by saying, look, here's a stockpile, keep loads of everything, keep it close, and it'll just be there's a possibility of making adjacent transfers instant. I have thought about that. Anyway, we have a completely different problem, which I'm not sure I have the tech for, so I might have to zip ahead. If, for example, Right, I need to research something. I need to research make headlights, lights manufacture. I've made the game a bit harder, and there is always a danger. Might put down another research office to speed things along a little bit. There's also a danger that I sort of run out and lose in the middle of doing a video. Because it is a bit harder now, I think, and hopefully more fun and all the rest of it. We shall see. So lights manufacture. I'm then going to research a technology in order to explain this to you, and I'm going to go. Where is it? Madness. Auto steer headlights. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Why can I not see this? Am I blind? Automatic headlights, folding. I didn't mean lights, I meant wing mirrors. Wing mirror manufacturer. It'll be quick. It'll be quick. Anyway, I'll explain the problem before I can show it to you. The problem is with some resources that we manufacture, we add kind of values to them. So rather than producing, for example, a wing mirror, we will produce a folding wing mirror. And then you can fit that to the car just as quickly as you could fit a normal wing mirror. The reason we do that is otherwise there will be bottlenecks. My hat not straight. Easily distracted. If you had to assemble every component like right at the sort of coalface, as it were, you'd get a big slowdown. We're kind of getting it here, look, because we're fitting the sensors and the servos in order to fit all kinds of tech here. Yeah, so the windscreen here, we've got automatic wipers, so we've got a servo to trigger that, and we've got sensor to detect that. So that kind of slows things down, and that was getting a bit ridiculous. So we came up with this new system where you could make resources or components like headlights or like wing mirrors that actually had some cool kind of tech already applied to them. They could then be fitted to the car. Here we go. And so get the next one going. Folding. We'll do folding. And then that feature will be on the car. So, for example, where are we fitting wing mirrors? Wing mirrors, wing mirrors, wing mirrors. Fit windows, wing mirrors. This is where we're fitting them. So at the moment we just fit wing mirrors, right? So what I'm going to do, it's a door thing. It'll be a long video, sorry. I don't know why I apologise, because it's me that suffers the most with having to upload the thing on my shit internet. Right, so here we go. Here's a little thing here. We're going to build wing mirrors here. So I think glass and steel comes in, and look, wing mirrors, they come out. They'll then get taken from there. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit it on some models, but I'm mostly going to just talk about this problem. Do it on the Model E, which is my top range. We'll do it on that M, which is my mid-range. So there is an upgrade I can fit here. I'm just going to pick something to show that up. Let me slow down. There's an upgrade I can do here, which I've just done, which is folding wing mirrors. This is where I'm making wing mirrors, and I will click that buy. We scroll on a little bit so some of these get used. There they go, and some new ones get made. You can see now that I've made a few. They have little like tooltip things on them saying these are folding wing mirrors. And what these should make their way over here, okay, over time. So as wing mirrors get used and moved, they were taking some old ones there. Come on, come on. Which one's going over there? There you go. Right, now this is the problem. So here, look, I've got 16 wing mirrors because that's all this does. Mission accomplished. There's not a bottleneck, but some of them are folding wing mirrors, some of them aren't. Okay. Now this car that's just showing up here, Positech Transporter S, it should not get folding wing mirrors. It probably, statistically speaking, won't. What happened? What happened? Got the excitement. It didn't. But the problem is the relationship between this and the car is even more of a nightmare of the earlier problem. So for example, if all I've got is folding wing mirrors here, then a budget car that shouldn't have them will get them anyway. If I don't have them and a car shows up that needs them, at the moment it just fits whatever it's got. It does its best, so if it's got both, it will fit the right ones. But if it hasn't got both, if for example I had configure imports researched it and I said only get it locally, and the locally one only produces folding wing mirrors, every car will get folding wing mirrors even if they shouldn't. Now you'll still get paid for them because that comes into the sort of calculation, but you might not want to be doing that. And the only way at the moment to not do that is to have two factories, one making folding and one making standard, so not upgrade them all, which is possibly not what you want to do and a little bit efficient. I could change this so that you could then configure how many of each you made, but then how do I make sure I've got the right stuff here? It's chaos, it's a complete and utter nightmare. And the game is kind of chaos. The game is a logistical nightmare, which you kind of enjoy fixing. But it's that as it is without these problems, so you don't really need this. Anyway, I don't like doing too long videos. This is what I'm working on, okay, at the moment. So if in the next week and a half or 2 weeks, whatever, I might do an update, and I'll talk about this a lot more. And I'll have changed and fixed things like this. It's not like we've stopped adding features, and we will put in all these achievements as well. It's just I want to get this right. It's not, the current system is not explained very well to the player. I quite like it. I like the difference between here I'll do a little upgrade, like here I can do an upgrade to like powered steering wheel adjustment, and that will require the resources. But here, no, there's a different method. Look, I have to make the things, but it's not ideal. It has problems from a design point of view, and I would like to know what players think of it. Does this really annoy you? Have you not even noticed that it's a problem? Do you sort of think, oh well, there's always something like that in the game and I'm working around it and I enjoy working around it? Or I don't know. I just want to spark the sort of discussion on talking about it. I've got loads of solutions. I did a blog post about this as to things I can do to make this much better, which is key. But it's kind of annoyed me that I've boxed myself into a number of problems here. I don't think there's an ideal solution, but I want the game to be fun, and I want the game to be better, and I want it to be interesting. I quite like this scenario where you sort of think, yeah, that is annoying, but if we put a supply stockpile next to it, we can then configure. Because look, I could say, look, most of my cars, they don't have Napa leather. They normally have normal leather, so you can do this. I think that's a good solution. So there could be a case of it just needs to be more tutorially, and I need to say, look here, you know, little pop-up sort of saying, you've got too many of these here and not enough of them, and have you thought about putting a supply stockpile nearby? Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, this is Production Line and all of its technical problems. It's still a fun game. It's a great game. Look, you love it. Look, there's little cars and stuff. So anyway, I'm very interested to know what people think about that. Keep voting on all the various ways we have for you to vote on what's important. It might seem like there's a bit of a delay. Like everyone says, it's like the top vote 1 week, please do this, and then next week it disappears and it's not in, and you sort of think, yeah, right. What that means is I'm working on it, and I know, and it will be going in. Sports car will be going in. I have all the artwork, but it involves. I need to do that, don't I? I need to do that. Little bottleneck there, easily fixed, methinks. I need more QA options and upgrade, I think. Anyway, right, I'll stop talking now. This is Production Line. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that wasn't too kind of obscure and technical, and I will see you next week. Thank you.